Howdy, howdy. Welcome back to another video. It is the 12th of September. It is 17 minutes past 5 p.m. in the afternoon. I've got a nice little poem here called "The Message." I was given this book by a friend, actually. It's gonna be reversed when I show the camera. It's called Poems That Make Grown Men Cry. And I was just going through it this afternoon and I stumbled across this poem. I quite like it. It's short. It's by Peter Sis. Give a brief background of him. Born in Brno, Bavaria in 1949, Peter Sis today lives and works in New York as an artist, author, and filmmaker. In 2003, MacArthur Fellow. He has created award-winning animated shows, films, tapestries, stage designs, and murals. He has this poem called "The Message." The message. The door that someone opened, the door that someone closed, the chair on which someone sat, the cat that someone petted, the fruit that someone bit into, the letter that someone read, the chair that someone tipped over. The door that someone opened, the road that someone ran down, the woods that someone crossed, the river in which someone jumped, the hospital where someone died. I'll read the blurb that comes with it. I was born in Czechoslovakia, a country where the door was always closed. You could not go outside. You could just dream about it. Then someone opened the door just a little bit and we could see the ocean and the rainbows. But then the door closed again. So I was sad, trying to remember what it was that I had seen. I might have even cried. And that was just when I discovered Jacques Prévert's "The Message." For me, it was about freedom of walking through the door. It was the 1970s and a young man in my country burned himself to death because he believed. I think that blurb was about someone reading the message. What stood out to me, though, was the fact that a lot of people have lived like, obviously the guy that wrote it, I think his name is Jacques Prévert. He was the author of the message, but the blurb was written by Peter Sis. Just highlighted that people live extremely different lives to what I consider normal. In Czechoslovakia, I think they were under the reign of Russia, and so when he talks about you could not go outside, you could just dream about it. Then someone opened the door just for a little bit, then someone where you could see the ocean and the rainbows, and then the door closed again. And I think it just highlights to me that some people live their life, where there is no freedom. So the freedom of when he just says open the door, they got to taste freedom for a little bit. And I think one of the things that I take for granted is the freedom. Like, I live in such a beautiful country like Australia. I live such a privileged life. I don't need to really think about someone. For me, in particular, being from New Guinea, I don't really have to think about someone in Czechoslovakia. I can just think about my people back in New Guinea and the freedoms that I have that they don't, the luxuries that I indulge myself in daily, where I don't even have to think about fucking people outside of my family. I can think of people in my family that struggle day to day, and how privileged and how blessed I am in my life. It's very humbling when I think about it that way. This afternoon I remember I got home from the gym. I was sitting down to do my video, and I went into the fridge and I pulled out a tub of strawberries. And I remember as I was pulling it out, I just remember thinking to myself, oh, how wild it is that I can open the fridge and pull out, a fresh batch of strawberries from a cool fridge, and sit down in front of my, fucking laptop, open up the screen, press record, and do something that I want to do. It's I'm extremely fortunate. I am extremely blessed. I live a life where that door is wide open. It almost never closes. The only person that closes it and is me. I think that when I'm ignorant, when I think about all the things that I do have and I'm ungrateful, I close that door. I literally close that door, and I have a closed mind into of all the things I should be grateful for. But yeah, good poem. I think the blurb really helped me a lot. When I read the poem, I didn't actually fully understand it, but it does just highlight some of the how fortunate I am. It really highlights it when he says, like in the blurb, then someone opened the door just a little bit and we could see the ocean and the rainbows. You know what I mean? Like you could see all the things that are possible in life, and then they closed it again. And how the mere fact that door is open, that I've become used to the ocean and the rainbows. In fact, I don't appreciate it anymore, and I think a constant reminder every day of how grateful I am of the life that I live, I think is it really helps me a lot. It really does. It makes me feel extremely content and at peace. I try to. There are times and days where I think about all the things I don't have, but Anyway, that was The Message, I think, by Jacques Prévert. Good poem. Good. Deuces. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys tomorrow.